Hey Will, I see alcohol as part of college. To be honest, I'm pretty new to the subject. Do you think you could teach me a little something?
What are the forms of consumable alcohol?
Wines typically contain approximately 8 to 14% by volume of alcohol. And we have one of these right here, and actually it's a barefoot and it has 9% by volume. Hard liquors such as whiskey, bourbon, and vodka. As you all can see here, you've got two different kinds of bourbon. And then vodka here can be referred to as like 40% alcohol by volume, or also can be referred to as 90 to 100 proof in a store. Alcoholic mixtures can add some certain type of nutrients depending on the mixture used and nutrient content of the base ingredients, such as like orange juice in oranges has vitamin C. And then a standard drink is approximately 13 to 14 grams of alcohol.
When consuming alcohol, how do you do it safely?
Moderation and balance is key. So the first thing, that's the most important key concept I would take home, is that moderation in anything is key. But especially in alcohol, pace yourself at a restaurant, have a glass of water between each drink. Include food. Don't drink on an empty stomach, because that just leads to quicker intoxication, and it could make you a lot sicker. Seek healthy alternatives to manage your time and stress. Cards with friends, swimming, anything else to manage your other time and stress needs. If needed, simply call for the helpline. It's 1-800-662-HELP. That's the National Drug and Alcohol Treatment Referral Routing Service. You also have Alcoholics Anonymous. They have meetings even here in Moorhead. They have meetings all around the United States. They have a website at www.aa.org that you visit anytime to get information. And also, really basically, and when it's all said and done, consider complete soberness to avoid any chance of alcoholism to occur.
Are there any positives to consuming alcohol?
So when we talk about alcohol being used in the body, we refer to it as a fuel source. And that reason being is that alcohol is ethanol. That's a fuel source for the body at its disposal if it's consumed.
What are the physiological effects of alcohol on the body?
So we know that alcohol has to be metabolized in the body, and there are certain processes that go about doing that. The first thing, there are two things to consider, is that alcohol is a mind-altering toxic drug to the body, and also when consumed in excess, can damage every organ in the body and lead to death. But the liver relies primarily on the alcohol dehydrogenase pathway to metabolize alcohol. The metabolic pathway as follows: it's ethanol and alcohol's base form reacts with the enzyme alcohol dehydrogenase to form acetaldehyde. That then reacts with the enzyme aldehyde dehydrogenase to form acetate, and that forms in the end acetyl CoA, which then contributes to the liver's fat cell count, and that is what can bring on a lot of the cancerous problems with the liver and also the diseases that come with that. And then when the liver becomes overwhelmed from excess consumption of alcohol, the microsomal ethanol oxidizing system takes over the metabolizing efforts.
How does the body metabolize alcohol?
The rate of glycolysis slows due to the fact that the two dehydrogenase reactions deplete the number of NADH plus molecules, and that directly affects the liver by disrupting the normal metabolism of glucose, fatty acids, and amino acids.
What types of diseases can long-term alcohol use promote?
So how alcohol affects the body physiologically as a whole. Excessive alcohol use, whether in form of heavy or binge drinking, can lead to numerous health problems, chronic diseases, neurological impairments, such as cardiovascular diseases of various types, also known as CAD, myocardial infarction, and hypertension, which is high blood pressure, neurological impairments, dementia, which is an onset at an older age, stroke and neuropathy, psychological impairments such as depression, anxiety, and suicidal tendencies, increase for various types of cancers, including liver, mouth, throat, larynx, which is your voice box, and esophagus cancers. And also you have the chance of becoming physically addicted to alcohol, in which your body physically requires it, which is considered a disease.
How does alcohol affect the brain?
So how alcohol affects the brain, physiologically specifically, it impairs brain functioning and damages the brain. Basically, it increases the risk of stroke. Drinking during pregnancy can lead to the range of physical, learning, and behavioral effects in the developing brain, the most serious of which is a collection of symptoms known as the fetal alcohol syndrome, also known as FAS. Regular consumption of alcohol decreases the level of serotonin, which is a key chemical in depression, and then that therefore creates a waterfall cycle to make you think you need to drink to cure the depression, but it actually is lowering your serotonin levels and making you want to drink more and more and more and more, hence the cycling effect. And then basically, when you drink a lot, the brain has you have problems with difficulty walking, blurred vision, slurred speech, slowed reaction times, and impaired memory.
What are the possible complications of the liver from alcohol consumption?
So how alcohol affects the liver and brain, physiologically, specifically those two organs. The accumulation of triglycerides or fat cells in liver cells can cause alcoholic fatty liver. The person with a fatty liver continues to consume alcohol, he or she is likely to develop cirrhosis of the liver, which is a dangerous liver disease, and you don't want to get that. This accumulation of fat can also result in hepatitis of the liver failure, and increased risk of liver cancer. Alcoholic liver disease, ALD, comprises of a clinical histological spectrum of including fatty liver, alcoholic hepatitis, AH, and cirrhosis with its complications. Prolonged abstinence is the most effective strategy to prevent disease progression, which is basically to stop drinking once the disease is contracted.
What are the components of alcoholism?
So now we're going to discuss alcoholism, and there's 4 key components to alcoholism. Craving is that strong need to drink constantly. If you're not, like, it's just a strong feeling. Loss of control is that you drink 1 drink, you end up needing 8 or 9 drinks to follow it. You can also become physically dependent on alcohol with its own physical symptoms. And then also, the more you drink, the more you increase your tolerance, which is the need to drink more alcohol to feel the same effect you did before.
What is BAC and the legal limit? And also, what is binge drinking?
Alcoholism and its components now. The blood alcohol concentration, also known as the BAC, is concentration of alcohol in the bloodstream. Pretty basic. The legal limit of this is 0.08% to drive on the road legally. And also, binge drinking in males is considered as 5 drinks or more per 2-hour occasion, and in females 4 drinks or more per 2-hour occasion.
Red Solo Cup, I fill you up. Let's have a